Hey champions, today we're going to talk a bit about how to control anxiety. How to control something that feels horrible and terrible and turn it into something that feels a whole lot better. The first thing that I want to do is just read a dictionary definition of anxiety. So what's anxiety? A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. Now, there are a couple of other definitions that I looked up as well, but that pretty much covers it, and there's varying levels of anxiety. So firstly, the first thing I think we need to realize is that anxiety is normal. Anxiety is a natural part of life. It's a natural emotion. It's not something that we want to eradicate. It keeps us safe. It's a normal emotion that says something's not right. We maybe need to be worried here. We need to prepare. We need to organize. We need to rally the troops. So let's not try and eradicate it, but more so reduce its effect and make it more, see its beneficial aspects rather than its potential negative outcomes that it can cause. So I guess I'm lucky. I don't suffer severe anxiety, but I tell you what, my heart goes out to those of you who do, because I'm well aware of how debilitating it is and how serious a situation it is, and we must never ever feel that we have to deal with this on our own. And it's not only okay to ask for help, but it takes a strong individual to ask for help and to get help. And so I recommend that if this is a big thing in your life, then most definitely go and get some extra help. So the first thing that I recommend that we do when we to overcome anxiety is to journal about it. I talk about it all the time, I know, but it's because I feel that it's really is this first stage. Journal about when you're feeling anxiety. Journal about what brings it on. Journal about what about that thing that brings it on, and just get to understand your anxiety and the things that cause that anxiety, because once we understand it, we can then start to overcome it. Okay, so journal about it. For me, when I journal about it, I realize that I feel anxiety when I have too many jobs on my to-do list and I don't feel like I'm on top of them and I can't get through them, and my brain just goes off with the pixies, and that's the first time that I think. Other times is when I feel like I'm out of control and I can't control a situation and something is happening or likely to happen that I don't want to happen. So in talking to many of my students, I find that also is something that, it's a common occurrence. So step one, journal about it. The second thing is that I believe is meditation, regular meditation. Now you can use meditation when you're feeling anxiety to go through and release the muscles, tense, relax, all that sort of stuff, calm the mind, use breathing. I find that the meditation used in a daily practice in advance as a preventative is the best form of meditation and a great way to control that anxiety. So go back to chapter, I think it is 72, and start listening to my meditation. Use it as a daily practice, and I have no doubt that it will help you in some way, for sure. The third thing that I like to do that helps me to control anxiety is to work out how I'm going to respond to a situation that I feel like I'm out of control of. So for example, if we use karate for an example, you may be having a grading coming up, or you may have a tournament coming up and you're starting to feel anxiety about it. Ultimately, you're not having anxiety that you're going to, tear it apart and rip it up. Oh no, what happens if I just do so well and just shine? or what happens if I do so well in this tournament, I get a gold medal. Generally the anxiety comes in, what if I muck it up? I'm going to be standing in front of all these people, and what if everything goes wrong, I forget my moves, or I just, make a fool of myself? Well, that's possible. So get your journal out again and start to write down what your response is going to be if that happens. Script out what you're going to say. So what you're doing is you're dealing with that worst case scenario, and you're starting to put some control back into something that's kind of out of your control. So if I fail, if the worst case scenario happens, here's what I'm going to say. And by having that scripted down, you kind of already know how you're going to handle the situation, the worst case scenario. That'll allow you to focus on what it is that you actually want to happen. And I find that will probably help to bring down the anxiety a little bit. The fourth thing that I do in order to help regulate anxiety is to tidy up. So for example, if I'm in my office, with my example, I'll tidy my office and move into extreme organization. Get my diary out and I'll diarize all my to-do lists. I'll go through my to-do list and I'll organize it in what's most important to do, so I can rank order that to-do list and just get super organized, super tidy, so there's no muck laying around, and I just feel that I then operate much more like a hot knife through butter, and that's how I deal with anxiety. I feel like a lot calmer, a lot more in control, a lot more organized when that's like that. Okay, the fifth thing that I often do in order to help deal with anxiety and to regulate its levels is to take regular walks. So throughout my work day, for example, or at any time for that matter, I will go out and I'll regularly go for a short walk around the block. This does a number of things. Getting out into nature is fantastic. Get the breathing going, which is fantastic, and also helps me to start to organize my mind. So again, I can start to organize the next thing. What's the next thing for me to do? Because I've got to be in the moment. If I'm suffering anxiety, often I'm thinking about 5 steps ahead, rather than being in the moment, being present, and working on the next thing that I need to do. And so by taking a walk around the block, it just helps me to organize, okay, I need to do this, and this, but what's the most important? I'm going to do this, I'll head back and I'll get that done. Then I take another short walk. Might do 3, 4, 5 short walks in a day, but my productivity is higher than if I just sat at my desk the whole day, trying to punch out jobs one after the other, because I'm being more productive in my time and I'm doing the most important things first. The next thing, the sixth way that I do is if things get to the level where you're just up to here and you can't take it, like you're becoming unproductive, you're spending too much time in your head, you're not feeling good, your body's showing signs that it's overwhelmed, getting sick or ulcers or just, the feeling, take a couple of days off. Okay, take a day, take 2 days off, go out into nature, go and spend a couple of days. Now many of us feel like, okay, it's what's the word, it's selfish, we've got families, we've got work, we've got this going on, but ultimately once it's got to that level, you're becoming much less effective at what you're doing. And the most effective thing you can do is take a couple of days off, get out into nature, clear your head, clear your mind, get your journal out, work out what's important, center yourself, and then come back and get stuck into it. Okay, as I said, it's not a point, but if you get into that level and you don't feel like you've got control, it's overwhelming for you, then seek professional help, and know that it takes strength to do that. So just get it done. Surround yourself by supportive, helpful people. Hopefully there's something in there for you. If you like it, subscribe, and please, it takes the whole community, the whole family to raise the black belts. So I'm no doubt that you have experience to some degree in these different things, and you'll have some great tips of your own. Please take the time, whack them in the comment section below, and there'll be something beneficial for me, something that I can learn, I'm sure, something that the community can learn. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the dojo soon. Thanks.